This is Gyro Gear Loose with RV Hacking on the Cheap, and today I'm going to set aside strict frugality for the sake of safety. Once we unhitch our travel trailer at the campsite, most of us simply leave the hitch head attached to the tow vehicle. I'm about to demonstrate why you may want to rethink that practice. Has there been a sudden rash of people swinging splitting mauls at your tow hitch? No, of course not. But now think about what would happen if instead of a 20-pound splitting maul, that was a 6,000-pound vehicle hitting the back of your truck at 40 miles an hour. Most women and many men are at risk of severe whiplash as slow as 10 miles an hour. And that's before considering the expensive damage to your bumper and vehicle, or that your insurance may consider your vehicle totaled if it bends the frame. I like my truck, and that's just a love tap. But there is absolutely no forgiveness to solid steel attached to your frame. You may think I'm going to recommend removing the hitch head when you arrive at your campsite, but actually that won't help at all. That's because federal safety guidelines for bumpers only applies to small passenger vehicles, and there really isn't very good protection in the bumper that is built into your truck. Any impact will still hit your Class 3 or 5 hitch, as if the bumper didn't exist. Adding a standard step bumper only extends the impact point even further out. But this piece of hardware is a real solution to the problem of whiplash. This is not a paid advertisement, and I paid full price for this Superbumper manufactured by Moore Manufacturing because it's a product that I believe in. Behind the heavy steel bar you see are two rubber shock absorbers. In addition to the two giant rubber donuts around the shank, there's another column of rubber bumpers inside the shank that rest against the hitch pin. Also notice that the shank itself has a long slot, allowing the entire Superbumper to recoil into the vehicle if it's hit. This is intentional to absorb the shock rather than the hard clank we heard when I hit it with the maul before. You won't believe how well it works until I crash a truck, so here we go. That was a lot faster than 10 miles an hour, and the truck was undamaged. But does it really work in the real world if somebody hits your car? Well, it happened. If you notice the mark on my Superbumper, someone did rear-end me, probably around 20 to 30 miles an hour. At the time, I felt a whump that I didn't even identify as a traffic accident. And what was the result? Well, there's a ding in my Superbumper now, which Moore Manufacturing says they'll actually replace if I have a police report. What happened to the other car? It was completely totaled. Massive damage to the front bumper, the radiator, and even his engine block. The entire damage to my truck is what you're looking at. If you look at the perspective of this photo, you can see the reason why I got off so easy. My truck sits very high, and the car would have completely missed my original bumper. The Superbumper hanging off the Class 5 actually was low enough to catch the car, which tried to lift up my truck and absorb even more energy. This sort of bumper underride or mismatch of bumper heights is actually very dangerous to both vehicles. So although it didn't end well for the sports car, it was a good thing that we caught him. This has been Gyro Gear Loose with RV Hacking on the Cheap. Hopefully I've made you a little safer today. Like and subscribe to get future video updates. If you're interested in a nice shiny Superbumper, you can order one at superbumper.com or call 844-402-4230. Unlike most of my Chinese recommendations, this one's actually US made.